Hi guys, it's Paul from Thermeco. So in this video, we are going to talk a bit more about styles and blocks. In the last video, we briefly went through these two things by using the EC45TB as the example in that video. So EC45TB, you can only make fixed and awning windows. So it's just a entry-level system, residential system. So in this video, I'll be using a different system, EC45TB in particular. I will be showing you the OS casement. So it's one of our new products and it's becoming more and more popular. If you want to know more about what OS casement can do, the benefits of having the product, please feel free to give me a call or send me emails or contact the Thermeco office. We will be able to provide you more information on that. So the first thing I would like to do is just quickly go through the styles and blocks again. So the styles, so if you go to EC45TB for example, and then you bring over, so click and drag, okay, or you can double click on that. So this is the style. A style is a window or door that it has all the components that you need. So the frame, the sash, the beads, the glass, as well as hardware that's already being applied in the background. The difference between the styles and the blocks is, so if you go to the same item, the awning with the winder, for example, so you can see in the picture, you won't be able to, if without an opening in the frame, you won't be able to put that on the screen. Okay, you won't be able to do that. So you can see on the picture here, it doesn't have a frame, just the awning sash itself. However, it does have the fittings kit applied to it. Okay, so that's the difference between the styles and the blocks. Simply the blocks, they don't have the outer frame. So these will come into play very often when you build, say, a window with multiple divisions with mullions and transoms. At the same time, it has openings, casement, awning, or whatever. So that's where we will be using blocks a lot to build in. The styles here, the configurations and the styles, these are very, very standard openings. For example, one wing awning, one wing bottom hung, one wing casement window, for instance, and such. Okay, so you won't be able to find all the configurations under the styles, and if you cannot, what we normally do is we build the frame, we put in the mullions of the transoms to divide the frames, and then we put in the rest of the items by using the blocks. So firstly, again, what I encourage you to do is to look at the EC45TB brochure, just to study the product and see what you can and you cannot make by using that system. So if you open the brochure, again, go to the second page, you can see the opening styles here. We've got a little bit of technical information on this page as well if you want to have a look. So underneath here, you can see which kind of openings you will be able to get out of that EC45TB system. Okay. So go back to the program. What I would like first to build is a casement, OS casement 2-panel. On the left hand side, I am going to build the casement, and on the right hand side, I am going to just put in a fixed panel for that. Okay, so firstly, I will do an opening 1800 by 2400, and I put in the frame as opening out miter cut, and then I'm going to profiles definition that to EC45TB system. Okay, and I am putting in next the mullion. So I prefer to use the free insertion, take the bottom left corner as the reference point, and I am building this casement 1 meter wide. Okay, and then I am going to profiles definition the mullion. Obviously depend on how high the window is, you choose the different size of mullions. I believe we have some guidance of how to apply the mullions in the technical manuals. Okay, you know, the black folders that you have. Unfortunately, in the program, in Epi program, it doesn't have that function. Well, it does actually, but the system, the software is developed by MGsoft. They are a European-based company, so the settings or the function they have in Epi Pro, it's to European standard. It's not to Australian standard. So unfortunately, we cannot use that to do the wind loadings and such. But yeah, do check our technical manuals. If there isn't any information about that, please give us a call if you're not sure. Okay, so I choose one of that. Now, like I said, this configuration you won't be able to find the styles folder. We will need to use the blocks. So go to blocks and then go to the EC45TB folder. Scroll down to find the OS casement. So this one, I am going to hinge that on the right, on the left, I mean. So put that in. Next, we build the fixed panel. So by using the pen table manager, put in the glass and the bead together, and then define the glass. Now I am just cutting a cross section to quickly check that. So you see we've got the frame, the sash, the bead, the glass, as well as the mullion plus the fixed panel on the right hand side. Okay. Now again, what I would like to mention is in Epi Pro, all the windows and doors are viewed from the inside. So in this case, I've got the opening on the left hand side. If you view from the external, it's on the right hand side. So I think most of the time when you get a window schedule from the architect, the window schedule is viewed from the external. If that's the case, when you build the windows and doors in Epi Pro, you will have to reverse that picture. Okay. Now, the next thing you can do is to add a picture for the handle. Now, unlike the convention casement window, the OS casement, the window handle is fitted to the frame. So in this case, well, after I put in the picture, you can see here it shows up on the sash, but that's actually not the case. The handle will be fitted to the mullion itself. However, I cannot put a picture on the mullion, but it's up to you. If you want to put the picture there, you can. It doesn't really affect anything major, just the picture, just a visual thing. If you don't want it there, you can delete that. Okay, so it's really up to you. So that's the configuration finished. You can go ahead and save it. Right. So I would like to also show you how to create a job folder. I think I haven't mentioned that in the previous videos. So unlike other softwares, well, as far as I know, for the other softwares, whenever you have a new project, you have to create a job file first for that project. However, in Epic Pro, it's a slightly different process. Whenever you entering a new project, the first thing you do is to build that very first window or door in that project, and then save it to a new job folder. For example, if this is the item that we are building for that project, once it's finished, go ahead and install that in job. Now you will see this window here. So if it's a new job, click on new at the top. You can click on the create button here. It gives you a random number, job number, or you can name the job number to whatever you want. You can go 8,888. I'm from a Chinese background, so I like number 8, as you guys all know. Usually you can put in the customer information and all these other informations if you want, but just to make it simple, what I normally do, for example, it's a Thermeco project number 1, project 1. I just do it like that. So I put the customer's name and dash, and then put where the project is. Okay. Now you can see that we've got a job number there, and then click OK to save that window into that job. Now with the OS casement, you can put multi-lock into it. It's already got locking points with the default fitting kit, but just in case that you are making bigger sizes, obviously you would prefer to use additional locking to make sure that it locks properly, it locks tighter. Okay, so here the supplementary fastening kit, that's our term for locking point. So here it gives you parametric guidance of when and where you have to apply that. So for example, if the height is over 1400, you might want to consider adding additional locking point. So again, for that sort of information, check out our technical manuals. There should be some information in that book. Or if you are not 100% sure, give us a call. We are here to help you. Okay, so you can choose that, and then you can also the default nominate the quantities for that. For example, is 1, but you can always change that. You can double click on this, or you can go at the bottom, change quantity, and then you can say okay, I want 5 additional lockings. Okay, and then you make sure that you tick the box there. Okay, so go forward. So the next page we see here, this is where we need to further classifying the project, whether it's a powder coating job, it's an anodizing job, or it's a two color profile. So to do that, we have the colors definition here at the top. You can go treatment. We've set up a few options for you for anodizing, and as well as the powder coating. So you will be able to choose them. Now, the important thing I want to mention here is the powder for all these anodizing colors. There is a price related to them up to PC group 3, the powder coating group 3. Now, the PC group 4 and 5 colors, they don't have any pricings. You will have to price as per the job. Okay, so if you choose PC group 3, when you do the calculation, you do the estimation, it will give you the price for the finishing. But it doesn't really matter whether or not you choose the color. As long as you choose the treatment here, it will have a price for you in the background. Now, if this job is a two-color profile, so you can only do two-color project by using thermally broken profile. So the external part of the aluminium and the internal part of the aluminium will be different colors. So if you tick that box, you can see now we have external and internal. That's where you can choose the colors for them. Okay, so for example, PC group 1 for the external color, and then PC group 2 for the internal color. Okay. Now if you go to the next tag, so this is where we choose the fittings color. So in Thermeco we offer standard black and silver colors. In some certain scenarios we do offer mill finish where you can powder coat on top. I won't be able to show you in the video because it's all about the software itself. So but if you want to know more information about which hardware we offer in mill finish, give me a call. I'll be able to help you. Okay, so move on to the next tag is variables. In this tag, the only thing that we have to worry about is this H and D. So that's the handle height of that opening. Basically, this one here, you give a value to where you want the handle to be. For example, in this case, the window is 2400. I want it to be, say, at 1050. Okay. Now that 1050 it's very important. Okay, remember this. It's from the bottom of the sash to the center of the lever handle. It's not from the bottom of the frame. So when you calculate the handle height, make sure you deduct the overlap between the sash and the frame. Okay. Move on to the next tag is the production times. This is where we enter in the labor time for that window. For example, if it takes 2 hours to make it, to cut, to punch, and to assemble. Just assuming it's 220 minutes, and might not necessarily be 220 minutes. It's really up to your fabrication speed. Okay, I'm just using 120 minutes as an example. What I normally do is I put all the minutes under just cutting, and then when I run through the calculation, it will give me a total labor for that window. Now move on to the next tag is notes. So this is where you can put additional notes to it. For example, if you were making a door, you can say, okay, I want a turn snip key to the inside, things like that. Or you can say, okay, I want timber review to all 4 sides. So the notes, when you print out the window schedule, you won't show up the notes. The notes will show up on the fabrication paperwork, which I will show you later. So move on to the last tag is the CE certificate. So this is the European standard. It's not Australian standard. So well, we cannot use that, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, now move on to the bottom part, number of styles. So basically, if you have identical items in that project, you can say, okay, there's 3 of them. However, I prefer to, even they are identical items, I still prefer to make them individually. Okay, it's just that when it comes to site measurements, I find it much easier to have them as separate windows rather than combine them all together, even though they are identical items. Okay, and then usually what I do is I give the description of that window, say it's window number 1 in the bathroom. And then we click Enter to save. Now if you go to the jobs list, okay, you'll see that we have job number 8888, and it's Thermeco project number 1. If you click on OK to get into that job, you'll see window number 1 in the bedroom we just built. Okay. Now I will show you all these other functions in the later videos. Today, well, I think we'll just finish it here. If you have any questions about this video, give me a call or email me your questions. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.